Hey guys, so today we are taking a little trip back through time and going back through the ages and making some, well, we're gonna make 5 of the most popular cocktails throughout each decade from the early 1900s right the way through to the 1950s. So let's get into it. And just like that, we're back in the early 1900s, where whiskey-based cocktails were extremely popular. Think old-fashioned, Sazerac, whiskey sours, and many more. But today we're making the Manhattan. Rumour is it was created for Winston Churchill's mum in the Manhattan Club in New York. So start with 2 ounces of bourbon or rye, and then we're going to add 3/4 ounce of Sweet Vermouth for a balanced and moreish taste. Follow that with a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters, and then we're going to give that a good stir for around about 90 seconds. And if you prefer a drier style of drink, then you can always switch out the Sweet Vermouth for a dry vermouth, which creates a completely different drink. Then you can garnish with an orange twist, or in my case, a Maraschino Cherry. Side note, Maraschino cherries are delicious. Right. Back into the time machine, and let's jump forward to 1915, where one of the most iconic cocktails, still to this day, was made. The Singapore Sling, created at the famous Raffles Hotel in, yep, you guessed it, Singapore. Start with 1.5 ounces of gin, and then we're using 1/2 ounce of both cherry herring liqueur and Benedictine D.O.M. We also need some fresh pineapple juice, 4 ounces will do it, and a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters, followed by 1/2 ounce of fresh lime juice and 1/4 ounce of Grenadine. Give that a good shake, Singapore style. Don't know if that's actually a thing or Singapore style, but hey. Strain it into a Sling glass and garnish it with a pineapple slice and leaf. And that's a drink that makes you think of a holiday. Certainly need one of those soon. I guess another trip forward in time will have to do it. Let's jump forward then again to the Roaring 20s. Now, part of me has always wanted to experience a Great Gatsby style party. They quite literally look like the bee's knees, and that's exactly what we're making. It's a gin-based cocktail, so start with 2 ounces of gin, followed by 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce of honey syrup, and then lastly 1 ounce of fresh lemon juice. And that's it. Give that a good shake. Shake it like you're at the party and strain it into a classic coupe glass. And here's to you, Leo. Fast forward to the 1930s, and hangovers were rife after the Roaring 20s, so people needed the perfect hair of the dog hangover cure, and that resided in the Bloody Mary. Something about the combination of a heavy vegetable base to settle the stomach, salt to replenish electrolytes, and alcohol, well, to get it all going again and relieve the headaches. Come in with 2 ounces of vodka, followed by 3 ounces of tomato juice. Not my favourite ingredient, to be honest, but it gets worse. Add 1/2 ounce of fresh lime juice, 2 dashes of Worcestershire sauce, and also Tabasco. And finally, just a little more salt and pepper. And then instead of shaking it, we're going to use a technique called rolling to mix things a little differently. To garnish, we're going to use a celery stick. And I can't lie, I've had a Bloody Mary before and, well, hated it. Maybe today will be slightly different. Let's see. I've got to give it a chance, right?
You're going to try and be positive.
Anyhow, moving into the 1940s, during this time, rationing on grain alcohol during the war made whiskey and vodka harder to come by in the US. So the Daiquiri, a rum-based drink, grew in popularity as rum was plentiful amidst a rise in trading between the US and the Caribbean. Start with 2 ounces of white rum, for the classic recipe anyway, but you can always experiment with different rums, like Bamboo is a favourite of mine. and then come in with half an ounce of simple syrup, followed by half an ounce of fresh lime juice. And I'm actually going to make a little twist today, so I'm adding 3/4 ounce of coconut rum. If you haven't tried this variant, I highly recommend it. Finally, I'm going old school for the garnish with a full lime wheel. Enjoy. There you go then, guys. That is 5 of some of the most popular cocktails throughout the ages, from the early 1900s all the way up to the 1950s. If you enjoyed this one, let me know and we'll do the next series, 1950s onwards. And yeah, I'll leave a link to our last video just up here. Make sure you check that out, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until then, cheers.